Hey Bears fans, what a time to be alive if you love Chicago football. The energy around this team right now feels completely different, like something special is starting to build. And at the center of it all, there's one guy who's changing everything, Caleb Williams. The hype around this kid isn't just noise anymore. It started to feel real. The city's been waiting for decades to say it, but maybe, just maybe, the Bears finally have their guy at quarterback. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy to even say out loud, but the way Caleb is playing, the way he's handling every situation that comes his way, you can't help but start to believe. People have always said the same thing about the Bears. Great defense, solid run game, but the quarterback? Always a mystery, always that missing piece. And here comes this kid out of nowhere, not just with arm talent, not just with speed, but with something that's way harder to find, poise. He's got that clutch gene that you can't really define, but you know it when you see it. Fourth quarter, game on the line, crowd going nuts. And he's calm, like it's just another rep of practice. He's got ice in his veins, and that's something Bears fans aren't used to seeing from their signal caller. Now, let's talk about what's really catching people's attention. The toughness. Caleb doesn't miss time. He's been hit, sacked, pressured, and he keeps getting up. Remember last season when he took almost 70 sacks and still played all 17 games? That's not luck. That's durability at an elite level. And it's not just physical. You can see it in the way he carries himself. He's mentally built for this. He knows he's going to get hit. He knows he's got to stand in the pocket and deliver. And he does it anyway. That's leadership. That's what separates the good from the great. The numbers tell part of the story, sure, but you have to watch him to really get it. He's forcing missed tackles like a running back. He's shaking defenders off his back like they're nothing. He's built like a tank, strong legs, thick frame, and a core that could take punishment and still explode out of the pocket. There was a stat floating around that said he's forced 26 missed tackles this season, 9 more than any other quarterback. And who's second on that list? Josh Allen. Think about that. That's the company Caleb's in right now. And he's doing it as a rookie in a system he's still mastering. What's crazy is that this isn't even the finished version of Caleb Williams. He's still learning. You can see the growth week by week, from his decision-making to how he reads defenses and adjusts protections. He's cutting down on turnovers, hitting more explosive plays, and showing that he can win both from the pocket and on the move. It's a rare mix. You don't usually get that balance this early in a career. When most young quarterbacks struggle to just stay afloat, Caleb's already generating big plays without giving the ball away. That's the recipe every offensive coach dreams of. Explosives plus low turnovers equals wins. Even the old school guys are starting to come around. You've got former coaches, analysts, everyone who used to doubt the Bears suddenly giving credit. They see what's happening. They see a quarterback who's not afraid of the big moment, and who's bringing belief back to a locker room that desperately needed it. You can feel it in the way the team reacts to him. They trust him. You can see it in those sideline huddles, in those post-game locker room speeches. When the coach says this guy's got ice in his veins, that's not just a figure of speech. That's real. They believe he can take them where they haven't been in a long time. And here's the thing. He's still got plenty to improve on. The accuracy, the timing on certain throws, maybe holding onto the ball a little too long sometimes, all of that's true. But you can live with those growing pains because the upside is massive. The arm talent is unreal. He can zip a throw 30 yards downfield with a flick of the wrist. He can drop it in between two defenders like it's nothing. There are moments where you just sit back and say, okay, that's special. The guy has the kind of arm that makes throws most quarterbacks wouldn't even try, and the confidence to actually make them. You combine that with how athletic he is, and you start to understand why so many people are calling him a generational talent. He's not out there running around just to run. He's using his legs with purpose. He extends plays, keeps his eyes downfield, and only takes off when it makes sense. But when he does, it's dangerous. You can see linebackers taking bad angles, defensive backs hesitating because they don't know if he's going to run or throw. That dual threat ability completely changes how defenses have to play him. He's not a track star like a Mike Vick or Justin Fields type, but he's plenty fast, deceptively fast, actually. He's in that 4.4 range, and when he turns the corner, good luck catching him. And this offseason clearly did him good. You can tell he focused on building that body to handle the grind of a full NFL season. He looks stronger, quicker, more balanced. The footwork is tighter. The release is faster. Everything just looks smoother. And when you add that kind of athleticism to the natural arm strength he's always had, you start to see why people are saying the sky's the limit. The kid just looks like he belongs. What's really fun to watch, though, is how he's starting to sync with this coaching staff. You can see the chemistry building between him and Ben Johnson. Johnson's calling plays that fit Caleb's strengths, rolling him out, letting him improvise when he needs to, and still teaching him how to win from the pocket. That balance is key, and you can tell Ben believes in him. You can hear in his post-game speeches when he says things like, "This kid's got ice in his veins, and the best is yet to come." That's not just a motivational line. That's belief. The coach knows what he's got. Now, we all know it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be a rough game somewhere down the line. Maybe it's against Minnesota. Maybe it's one of those tough late-season matchups. That's just how development works. But what matters is the trajectory. And right now, that arrow is pointing straight up. He's growing, he's learning, and most importantly, he's winning. You can't ask for more from a rookie quarterback in this league. There's this feeling that the Bears are finally turning the corner. The roster looks strong. The offensive line is holding up. The defense is playing with energy again. And at the heart of it all is a quarterback who gives them a chance every single week. That's something Bears fans haven't had in a long, long time. You can feel the confidence growing, not just in the stands or in the city, but in the locker room. These guys are starting to believe they can win big games because of the guy taking snaps under center. And when you have that kind of belief, that's when special things start to happen. Because talent will take you only so far, but belief, that changes everything. It's contagious. You can see it spreading through this team, through this fan base. Chicago's been starving for this kind of hope, for this kind of quarterback, and now they might finally have one. It's still early, sure, but the signs are. And what's even crazier is that this transformation feels sustainable. This isn't a hot streak or a lucky run. You can tell there's structure behind it. You can tell the coaching staff has a plan, and Caleb's following it, adapting every week. The timing between him and his receivers is sharper. The chemistry with the offensive line is building. There's trust developing, trust that he'll deliver the ball on time, trust that his linemen will protect him, trust that the play caller will put him in the right position. That's how winning football gets built from the ground up, and Chicago is finally showing signs of that foundation being solid. Every week, we're seeing another piece of his game evolve. Earlier in the season, you'd see flashes of brilliance, but also a few forced throws, maybe a hesitation when reading a disguise coverage. Now, he's recognizing blitzes, sliding protections, manipulating safeties with his eyes like a veteran. Those are the little things that separate a good rookie from a quarterback who can take over this league. And it's happening fast. He's adjusting to the speed of the NFL, which is something that breaks so many young players. But Caleb seems almost energized by it, like he thrives on the chaos. He plays with rhythm, but when the rhythm breaks, he improvises better than anyone his age has a right to. And man, when he's out of the pocket, it's electric. You see defenders freeze for half a second, trying to decide whether to commit to the tackle or drop back into coverage. That hesitation alone creates opportunities for him to pick up chunk plays. He's become that dual-threat weapon every team wishes they had. The kind of guy who can turn a broken play into a 20-yard gain or a highlight reel touchdown. And the most impressive part? He's not relying on his legs as a crutch. He's running when it's smart, when the situation demands it. That balance is rare for someone this young. Even veterans around the league are starting to take notice. You can sense the respect building. When former players and coaches, guys who've seen everything, start calling a young quarterback a generational talent, that's not hype. That's recognition. They're seeing the same things we are, the arm strength, the poise, the competitive fire. And the way he leads, it's natural. He doesn't force it. He doesn't need to be loud or flashy. He commands attention just by the way he plays. When your teammates know that no moment is too big for you, that you're going to step up when everything's on the line, they rally around that. They fight harder because they believe. And maybe that's the biggest change in Chicago this season, belief. This team is no longer walking into games just hoping to compete. They're stepping onto the field expecting to win. That shift doesn't happen unless your quarterback changes the culture. You can feel it in how the coaches talk about him. You can see it in the way his teammates react when he makes a big play. There's genuine excitement again. Football in Chicago finally feels fun, not frustrating. But let's keep it real for a second. There's still room to grow. The completion percentage can improve. There are moments where he needs to trust the play design instead of holding onto the ball, trying to make something out of nothing. The mechanics still need fine-tuning, especially the footwork on short throws. But that's the beauty of it. He's already performing at a high level, and there's still so much untapped potential left. Once he cleans up those details, once he and his receivers are fully in sync, the ceiling rises even higher. And let's talk about those explosive plays again, because they're becoming a trademark. The Bears' offense used to be predictable, one-dimensional. Now it's dynamic. One drive, you'll see a deep bomb perfectly placed down the sideline. The next, you'll see Caleb breaking free from pressure and hitting a crossing route on the move. He's making defenses respect every blade of grass on the field. You can't blitz him carelessly because he'll make you pay. You can't sit back in coverage either because he'll pick you apart or take off for a first down. It's a nightmare for defensive coordinators, and it's giving Chicago's offense an identity it hasn't had in decades. The chemistry with Ben Johnson has been one of the most underrated stories in all of this. You could tell Ben gets him. He understands what buttons to push, when to let him play loose, when to rein things in. The two have a rhythm now, a connection between play caller and quarterback that's built on mutual trust. That's huge. You can hear it in the way Ben talks about him after games, calling him a competitor, saying the best is yet to come. Those words aren't thrown around lightly. They come from a coach who knows he's working with something special. Of course, the real test is coming. The schedule gets tougher. The defenses get nastier. Those late-season games are where the pretenders fade and the real ones rise. And that's what's so fascinating about this stretch. We're going to see how far this kid can take it. The Browns, the Lions, the Ravens, these aren't easy opponents. But this is where growth happens. This is where quarterbacks earn their stripes. And if the Bears can stay competitive in those games, if Caleb continues to show composure even when the pressure ramps up, then the rest of the league will have to start taking Chicago seriously again. But honestly, no matter what happens, this season has already been a success in one major way. The Bears finally have hope. Real, tangible hope built around a quarterback who's proving he can carry the franchise. The development is real. The confidence is real. You can see it in the way he talks after games, in the way he takes accountability for mistakes, and in the way he refuses to get rattled. That's not something you can teach. That's instinct. That's leadership. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors are swirling around the NFL community after Kansas City Chiefs superstar quarterback Patrick Mahomes made a surprising comment about the Chicago Bears, and fans can't stop talking about it. What began as a casual remark during a post-practice chat has turned into one of the biggest talking points of the week, fueling speculation about Mahomes' true intentions and what might be happening behind the scenes. According to people close to the team, Mahomes was asked about the Bears during an offhand media session, and his response reportedly caught even his own teammates off guard. "You never know how things could have turned out," he allegedly said with a grin, a line that instantly set social media ablaze. Within minutes, fans were dissecting every word, wondering whether the two-time MVP was hinting at admiration, frustration, or maybe even something deeper, a sense of unfinished business. To many, this is more than just a throwaway quote. Remember, the Bears famously passed on Mahomes during the 2017 draft, opting instead for another quarterback who never quite lived up to the hype. That decision has haunted Chicago fans ever since, while Mahomes has gone on to rewrite the NFL record books. So when the Chiefs star even mentions the Bears, it hits a nerve. Some insiders suggest his comment might have been playful, perhaps even respectful toward the Bears' defense, which Mahomes has faced with mixed results. Others, however, believe the remark carried a touch of competitive fire, a subtle reminder of what could have been. Patrick doesn't say things by accident, one unnamed source said. When he speaks, he knows exactly what kind of waves it'll make. The buzz has only grown louder as fans speculate online, debating whether Mahomes' words were a harmless joke or a veiled message directed at Chicago's front office. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. Whenever Patrick Mahomes talks, the entire league listens, and this time his words about the Bears have everyone guessing what he really meant. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.